Right, Rock Addicts. This is DJ Rem from Rock Addict Radio, and I have Tony from the band Mos Generator on the line. How you doing, man?
I'm doing real good, real good.
So why don't you go ahead and start by introducing yourself and your spot in the band, and then the other members that are not with us today, please.
My name is Tony Reed, and I'm guitar and vocals. And on drums, we would have Sean Johnson, and on bass, Scooter Haslett. Power trio.
Okay, very cool. And obviously, there's a lot going on. So why don't you tell everybody that's going to listen to this what's going on with you guys right now?
Well, we put out a new album in October. We'd taken a 3-year break, and we came back and did another album. And then now we've just been kind of gearing up for this European tour. We leave for tomorrow, so it's 26 shows. So we've been playing shows regionally just to, make money and get in shape for this. Because 26 shows in a row for us is quite a long jaunt. I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's insane. What's the time frame for those 26 shows?
26 days.
Wow, nice.
That's the scary part. My voice,
Well, I wish you best of luck. Hope it holds up for you.
Excuse me?
I said I wish you the best of luck. I hope it holds up for you.
Thank you very much. I've been trying to do some exercises for it, try to use it in a better way.
Right. Very good. So how long has Mos Generator been around then total?
Since 2000.
And then what got the band, who started the band back in the day?
Well, the three of us had played in bands through the 90s.
That makes sense.
So, then we kind of went our own ways for a while and then came back and, we had a great musical chemistry. So, we just, at one point, I'd written a song in some band and Sean, who's the drummer, heard it and he's like, man, I'd like to play music like that. And so then we just all fired it back up again, and it's been going, ever since.
Very cool. And then this most recent album that I have, where did you guys record that at?
At my place. I do. That's what I do for a living, is produce and record bands.
Nice.
So all of our records are done that way.
So are you guys with any kind of label right now, or are you just kind of indie?
We're on a label called Ripple Music.
Yep.
On the East Coast.
Okay.
And they've done my other band and a reissue of our first album from 2002, and then this new album.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, it's coming back to me now. When Clawhammer sent me your stuff, they actually sent me some stuff from Ripple too, so it all makes sense now.
Yep.
So big thanks to Clawhammer for hooking us up. I appreciate that from them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a great job.
Those guys are amazing. So I guess just a question for you is what got you into music, and what kind of influences have you had that made you want to start doing something like this and keep it going?
I was raised on two different styles of music, heavy hard rock in the 70s, which my parents listened to, and then there was a soul issue too, that we listened to. So as I was growing up, for a lot of people my age, guitar players especially, would say that Kiss was the band that came along and lit like this crazy fire inside that you had to start a band. So for me, it was early on. It was Kiss, Sabbath, and Rush. Those were the bands that really kind of made me want to do all this. And Sabbath is my favorite band, and I base a lot of the music pretty much off what they do.
So how hard has this been to keep this thing going for you guys? Has it been? I mean, I know you said you kind of stopped for a little while and then you restarted. I mean, has everything been going? Has it been pretty easy, or have you had to make a lot of sacrifices to keep it going?
There's a lot of sacrifices. I mean, personally, I would like a lot more work from the band. I've made my life available to just go out and go on tour. So I find myself doing other bands when us some downtime here. I'll go do other things or tour with other bands. If we could, I feel like if we could put in the dedicated time it takes for a band in this day and age, you know, if we could put in the time it takes to really get something like that rolling properly, it would do well, I feel. But you know, there is a lot of sacrificing from band members,
right?
Which is appreciated, of course. But you know.
Yeah, I totally get it. It's not an easy thing, especially these days. And then, you know, kind of what's your take on that, on this whole, I mean, obviously, if you have some know-how, I mean, you can have a band, you can record music yourself. So what I find as a DJ and all the music I get, there's a lot of saturation of the market, to say, with all the bands out there. So just what do you think about just, I guess, the change in the music scene these days?
Yeah, sometimes you'll look in the local magazines to see what's coming through town. You'll see flyers for gigs, and there's so many bands you never heard of. You know, it's actually really kind of not frustrating, but you go, man, you know, all these people are fighting for the same thing. Of course, you know, we're older now, so people are going to come up under us and make a lot of really good music, actually. You know, but the way it's run, I mean, I as far as internet and stuff like that, I really think that it's a plus for bands because you can get noticed without having to work as hard. So in the modern world of being in a band, I mean, I enjoy that. The networking part and all that just makes it so much easier to get noticed. And there may have been as many bands all the time, but before the internet, you didn't know they were there.
Right.
You know.
Well, you know, before the internet, people, you know, passed around cassette tapes and stuff. That's how. I mean, that's half the bands I listen to. I mean, that's how I came to know them. Somebody would hand me a tape and say, "Hey, listen to these guys," you know, and that's how I'd get it. And now you can just go to a Facebook page and stream it right there.
Yep, and that's a plus. You know, I mean, I think it's actually really cool, especially when bands you're going to be playing with. You want to check out, okay, what am I in for? You know, or booking shows. Oh, that band's not quite right. They have a name that makes them sound like one kind of band, and you get them into the show to play, and they're another kind of band. But now you can, like, just, you know, figure it all out beforehand.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying because I've talked to some bands that have actually been in situations where they get to a show and they're, you know, maybe they're the second or third band to play, and they realize, oh boy, we're a completely different type of music than these guys, and you know, then they start worrying about how the audience is gonna react to them.
Yeah, I get worried about that myself sometimes. How did I take it? You know, but usually, if something's good, you're at least going to get that kind of respect.
Right. Exactly.
If you play well, I mean, sometimes we just don't even play well. You know, you can't even. You know, it's night by night. You're rolling the dice.
Right. Well, some bands, you always have nobody's perfect, right? You always have a bad gig, I'm sure.
Yep, and that makes you know, you need those. You know.
All right, you need to have something to learn from to make yourself better. For sure.
Exactly.
So, where's speaking of the internet and all and networking and all this stuff? Where's the best place for people to go and find out more about Mos Generator?
You've got the Reverb Nation thing. I kind of just went with that. We used to have a website, then when we took the break, we shut that down, and so now coming back, we got Facebook and you got Reverb Nation. Reverb Nation has videos and audio, and you know, it actually has a lot of stuff you need to really explore the band.
Right.
We have like 3 videos from the new album, and then there's, you know, there's songs from every record, you know, on it. So I think Reverb Nation is probably the best bet.
Okay, and then if people go to your Facebook page, are you pretty good about responding to fans when they post messages and comments and stuff?
Absolutely, I think that's why these forums are here. You know, I get back on that immediately. I mean, I'm kind of on this as I'm doing other stuff. I'm on this, you know, saying hey, thanks and all that. I think it's really important for the grassroots type of, you know, fan base. you have to let them know that you appreciate what, it's just them taking the time when there's a million other bands they could be focusing on.
Yep, definitely. And as a fan of of bands, I know I personally really appreciate it when I go to somebody's Facebook page and post. Sometimes I'll post like a horn, I'll just do like a little horns high to them, and they'll respond to that. It's like, that's so cool.
Yep, it's something that's a must.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I'm sure you've been asked this question 1,000 times, but how did you come up with the name for the band?
Legend has it, and this is how I feel as it went down.
I love the legends. Okay.
Well, our drummer had this bass drum, 26-inch Ludwig bass drum, and he left it out in this open garage, and it got moss all over it. So, like some stuff growing on it and whatnot. So
right.
It got named the Mos Generator. So it should be two S's, really. We were making a joke last night about people, with there's just one S on top of the other. There are two there, but they're right on top of each other, something done like that. But so when it came, and this was way early on. This was when we were playing together before Mos Generator. When we got together to do this, we were looking for a band name, and we were trying to record some demos, and we couldn't get a kick drum sound. I remember that old bass drum used to get a really good sound, and I said, I wish we had the Mos Generator. And then we're like, ding, and there it was.
Very cool. Thanks for the story. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Definitely. I always like when a band has a unique story like that about how they came up with their band name rather than we opened up the phone book and just picked names or a dictionary, Because I get that too. Trust me. And teach their own. That's fine, but
sure.
I definitely like the stories better.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so another question really specifically for you. If I grabbed your MP3 player, your iPod, however you like to listen to music, what bands would I find you listening to right now?
I just made this gigantic, it's for the tour. It's a 3-hour 70s soft rock comp. So it's got, your Ambrosia, Eagles, Chicago, America, Boz Skaggs, that kind of stuff. Alvin Bishop, Phoebe Snow, just all that kind of stuff. And it's to me, it's really relaxing to have that, kind of music contrast to heavy stuff, especially when we're doing a lot of shows. We listen to that in the van a lot, So, but there's also, you're going to get Sabbath, a lot of Black Sabbath, of course. And Beach Boys. I listen to a lot of Beach Boys.
Okay.
And Todd Rundgren. And it's all 70s, almost all. There's a couple new bands that I'm enjoying quite a bit. But,
very cool.
Yeah, just kind of a wide range, especially as a record producer. You need to kind of know a lot of styles. Right. And production and stuff. I mean, everything, the classic Beatles all the way, up to, like I said, some newer bands, heavy and not heavy new bands,
Well, and I totally get that. I have a really strong appreciation for people that have a wide variety of music tastes and and open their horizons a little bit and don't just get stuck into a particular genre. That drives me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, most music lovers are well-rounded listeners. You really find somebody that's just only listens to one thing or whatever that really love music.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I was just listening to Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell this morning. I love Ozzy, but I love Dio too. So.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, if I had my way, Martin Birch would produce the next Mos Generator record and make it sound like Mob Rules. That's one of my favorite of those two Dio records. Well, I like the Humanizer too, but the two classic 80s Dio records from Sabbath were so good. Yeah. I saw them in 81. That was one of my first concerts, and it's something I'll never forget. I was just so taken by those guys. at that point especially.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys have this this wild, crazy tour coming up and everything, but what's kind of your plans for the band? I mean, where do you hope to be with this in a couple of years? What are you looking to do?
Well, we've got some new songs. We got 4 new tunes and a couple of other ideas. So we're going to work on another record, and we've already booked a festival in Germany next year. So we'll probably do another tour around there. I was talking to somebody about Japan last night. So we'd like to continue to tour as much as we can. Push it to the limit if everything is going upwards as we're doing it.
Yep.
So we'll just keep making records and see how it goes from there. Touring, to me, touring is a part of making records, or some amount of touring. Some kind of promotion for the album is key.
Yeah, and it seems like I would think that. I guess it depends on what tour you get on, but I mean, touring is one of the probably the better ways to make money these days, because obviously album sales aren't like they used to be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for our genre, they're still pretty. In the stoner rock community, there's a really, really good, there's a fan base, and they're dedicated fans. So you do kind of, you get that, you rely on that after a while, that, okay, they're going to be there for us, and
Right.
There's plenty more showing up. It's really kind of weird how there's a lot of younger fans coming to the shows and really getting into it, and then making the shows exciting again, rather than just standing there.
Right.
House parties last weekend, and it was completely crazy. It was like being 16 and playing a crazy house party with drunk people all over the place, falling into your stuff and breaking things. It was so cool. So I see, I see good things, from this genre and the support that it has.
Yep. And one thing I forgot to ask you is, where's a good place for people to buy the album at? Where's the best place that you would like people to go?
Well, the Ripple Music store is where you're probably going to get it. For mail order, you go right to our record label, ripplemusic.com, or there's a little slash in between there. But that's a good place. And then, I always encourage people to, if it's not in your local record store, go down and get it. We have 5 albums that can be, kind of picked up. All of them on vinyl too. We're vinyl freaks.
Nice.
And go order stuff and get it stuff in the store no matter where you live. But it's pretty much basically the best way to get to the record label, or to see us live. All that stuff there as well.
Right. Well, I love to hear that you guys do everything in vinyl too. I mean, because you guys just have that sound that I'm sure on a vinyl and on a good system, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's a different process of mastering and stuff. You get to use the vinyl just to give it that warmth.
Yep. Okay, so what sets Mos Generator apart from the other bands out there? I mean, why should people, when you guys are doing live shows, why should people come see you guys? I mean, this is like your chance to sell yourself here.
Okay, I would say that you're going to get a good, high-energy, heavy rock and roll show with we're totally dedicated to playing this music the best we can play it, and performing the best we can, giving a show for the audience. I would say, not just standing there looking down or being grimace or what, just really giving it a good, high energy. Even sometimes when we're playing slow, there's still this, there's a nice energy for it. And it's just an honest show. We do everything, naturally. and try to really be involved and getting the crowd involved with what we're doing and having a good time. It's about having a good time and playing music and enjoying it.
Okay, well, it sounds definitely sounds good to me. So I will encourage everybody listening to check out when Mos Generator will be in your area, and if they are, go see them. Support the band.
Yeah.
Darn straight.
Yeah.
So, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a live show you've done?
Wow.
That you're willing to share. I'll throw that in.
That's going back like a lot of years. That's actually, I can't even really come up with anything. Like, I would have to really start sifting through all these moments, you know.
Right.
Because a lot of the craziest moments don't happen when you're on stage. You know, they happen when everybody's had way too much to drink at the end of the night. And then,
right.
You know, then the fights start and the weird things start coming out, you know, depending on where you're, you know, sleeping that night or whatever. So, yeah, it's on stage stuff has never been very weird. So
who would be, I'm not sure which bands you're playing with on this tour you got coming up, but who's like your dream band to get to play with?
Sabbath.
I knew that answer was coming. I should have answered it for you.
Yep. And since they're probably going to be touring, you know.
Yep.
There's a few other bands I'd probably be into touring with. We're touring with St. Vitus on this tour coming up, which, you know, they're legendary, and it's an honor to do it. They're gonna draw some people in so they can see us too. That'll be nice.
Definitely.
And we've been to Europe before, so we still have some resonating kind of fans from that tour. But the Vitus is going to bring us in a whole new crowd. And it's not so weird that they're more of a doom band and we're more just of a heavy rock band. You know, the people over there just love music.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I talk to a lot of bands in Europe, and I tell you, there's, I don't know, I mean, the fan base and everything's great over here in the States, but there's just something extra special about music fans in general over on that side of the world. And I
would agree 100%.
Can't quite figure out why, but there's definitely it's almost like there's a little more passion or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and they can tell, you know, when you're faking it. You know, that's the thing. Like, and so we would get a lot of these comments that, you know, like, you guys are true, you guys are, you know, whatever. And that was a huge compliment.
Definitely.
When that would come along, because they would turn their back on you if you were, like, posing or pretending, you know.
Nice.
So to have them say that, of course, is a really, really cool compliment.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I wanted to just let you know that, you know, I have a couple tracks in the 24/7 stream at the station, and I've been playing you guys on all my shows, and I've gotten really good feedback from the fans that hop in the chat, because we also have a chat room at the station, and people jump in and say hi and stuff. So I've had good feedback about you guys. So keep doing what you guys are doing, because you guys definitely rock, and I wish you guys the best of luck on your tour that you're leaving for tomorrow. I hope you know, have a safe flights and all that stuff, you know.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
So, is there anything else you want to make sure people know about Mos Generator that we haven't talked about?
Oh, just share. If you dig us, tell your friends. You know, it's all about the once again the grassroots thing. You know, that's the only way a band like us is really gonna, you know, have any amount of success, you know, or forward motion, is if just people talk about it, turn their friends on to what they're into, if they're into it. So yeah, share the love.
Okay, well, very good. Well, I know we're doing what we can to help share the love at the station. I've actually I've tuned into a couple other DJs. Well, I mean, I do this all the time, but a couple times when I've tuned into the other DJs' shows, I've heard you guys on other DJs' shows, so I know the other guys and gals are playing you guys as well. So we'll keep doing our part to help.
We totally appreciate that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Not a problem. Okay, I have one last thing to ask from you before I let you go. I would love a couple of radio tags if you don't mind.
Okay.
So the first one, if you can say, this is Tony from Mos Generator, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
Okay. Rock Addict.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, this is Tony Reed from Mos Generator, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
Okay, that was perfect. And then for the second one, if you can, the exact same thing, but just add in there that you're listening to DJ REM at Rock Addict Radio.
Okay. This is Tony Reed from Mos Generator, and you're listening to DJ REM on rockaddictradio.com.
Okay, well, thanks again for taking the time to talk to me. Please tell the other members of the band I said hello.
Will do.
And like I said, I wish you guys the best of luck, so take care.
Thank you.
All right, bye.